Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting episode of AskLRR, our monthly podcasty QAing, questionary answering show where you ask us Qs and we A the heck out of them. I'm Ben. Joining me this week, we've got a Nelson.
Melting pot.
And Alex.
Mosaic. Got there.
And of course, we got Paul running tech, and we are here to answer questions that have been brought to us by Yoomst, specifically our YouTube members. And if you're ever wondering how you can ask us those questions, you can find them down in the description below or on our community page on the channel, where we'll be asking, monthly for those questions that you want us to answer. And of course, everything that we do is brought to you by Yoomst over at our Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. You're the reason we're able to do this, and we really appreciate it.
It's your fault.
Yeah, you did this.
We have to thank Yoomst generally, but YouTube specifically.
YouTube memberships.
Memboops.
Shoopsy doops. So thank you. You made it so that you get us 3 chuckle buns for the next.
Some good gibberish.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just got to keep it going.
We're starting in English, and we're going to end
Who knows what language we'll be speaking?
We're going to devolve into babies.
Yeah. Memberships. Great. Now that we've gotten all that nonsense out of the way. Let's go through our first question, which comes to us from the Dave413. Question is, if you had free reign to create a new piece of merch for the LRR store, what would you make?
A really badly cast horse.
Oh,
I can't draw horses.
Yeah.
It would look like the injection mold had been sort of speared, so it'd be like kind of distorted, and like one eye would be bigger than the other.
There's an earthquake at the factory, and then all these misshapen horses come out, and the boss is just like, "We gotta sell."
Yeah, this is exactly what it
we
is.
gotta move
We
them.
could do it really easily and buy a bunch of like remaindered plastic horses and just like run a heat gun over them, and then each one would be unique.
Right.
You could throw glitter at them.
And also, you'd know that you had some perfectly good horses to start with. That
What
you
if-
turned into art?
What if it was like, and then what we did after we had like this horse, we like encased it in like sand and like hardened it and whatnot, and then we gave each kit like one of those little like brushes and teeny picks.
Oh, I love
And it's
those.
like one of those things where they have to like unearth the horse. That's just, like,
Fossilized
going down.
Yes.
mutant horses.
The mining kits,
Yeah.
we usually call them. Yeah,
Yeah.
the kids these days, they're so spoiled.
Or just some like
Love
horrible
those.
horse chia pet.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going that route, like you could supply them with like a little masonry bit to drill and then like some firecrackers to blast it. This is a bad idea.
we just completely take the onus off of us, and it's just like a bucket of resin and the blueprint files so that people can like
There you
3D
go.
print whatever kind of horrible horse they want.
Enjoy.
Yeah, you go for it, and then tweet at us the.
We went ahead and added the hardener for you.
Okay, I have a completely opposite and semi-serious answer.
Okay,
Oh, I'm so
okay,
glad.
I
yeah.
have this daydream for merch that I've had like for 20, 30 years or something, about back when I was playing at ska bands.
He says wearing merch.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, not that I don't. Merch hasn't already happened around
I've
me.
never seen LRR checkerboard merch before. So.
That could be okay. There could be some sort of crossover. It's not specifically ska related though. I just like the idea of maybe someone has already done this somewhere. It's not like not something I'm going to patent or anything, but like dress shirt hoodie. Like you take the hoodie material and you somehow make a stiff collar at the top instead of a hoodie. Because just like so many of us have like 100 hoodies and they don't always work with every jacket.
Right.
Like sometimes you want to wear a vest or something with your hoodie and like the hoods are like getting in the way. Or you want to wear 2 hoodies at once and so you only need one of them to do
Does it
every
zip
color.
up or does it button up?
That's a great question. And
Because if it
go
zips
either way,
up, it's
yeah.
like you're kind of making like a mountain co-op, just like camping.
That's
shit.
right. Yeah, it's not that different.
know?
I just really want the collar to be stiff so that if you want, you can like bro pop it or put a tie on it.
If you want,
a tie
you
on your
can
hoodie.
bro pop it.
What if it buttons up?
Yeah.
The buttons could be good. Maybe it's a button up. Now we're also just describing
You're-
MEC
yeah,
shirt,
yeah,
aren't we?
yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
No,
Yeah, okay.
But you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like a nice, like you're right. I have so many hoodies.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not to discredit this, because this is a
Yeah.
great hoodie, right?
Yeah.
But like
this hoodie's fantastic.
yeah, but like something that you could get from like Mountain Co-op or like any sort of like outdoor clothing store that it's like, you know, a nice thick flannel or something like that that buttons up and maybe has just like a little LRR logo in the
Yeah,
corner or
maybe.
something, you know. I'm a big fan of the teeny logo
Right.
on like the left or right kind of breast area. Like I like the teeny logo. Like this is a shirt, but also like for those who know
The
you know.
booba tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the booba tat. I don't know if I have like I mean so
favorite
we've
merch
got
yet?
we've kind of got like polar opposite sort of
Right.
things
Good
here.
idea and a
Thing
dumb
that
idea.
might actually happen, and then horse,
Yeah.
disaster.
I've got business things, or like I've got business brain where I'm like, you know what people like, and we adhere, or people who play Magic the Gathering have a tendency to enjoy a loading ready run.
You
And
don't say.
you as a Magic the Gathering player can never have enough sleeves,
Yeah.
right?
More sleeves. I actually need more sleeves
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Right now.
So
Yeah.
what if Loading Ready Run had like a sleeve subscription service
Ooh,
where
Sleeve
you
the
sign
Month
up
Club.
and then
Sleeve the
every
Month
month
Club.
we send you like a different kind of like a
Business
different
Okay,
box of
okay.
sleeves that would have some sort of funky design on it. Like my favorite ones that we have, bar none, are our Elder Dragon Social Club sleeves.
It's a really handsome
They're
sleeve.
they're great, right? And just like having some sort of fun, different design that it's like you get it this month and then that one's gone forever, kind of a thing. And people are like, "How did you get those?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I subscribed to
signed
the
to the
Loading
sleeve
Ready
of the
Run."
You gotta
sleeve."
manufacture that FOMO, baby.
Exactly. Now you're getting to that's business, baby.
I have shockingly not like designed any like graphics for any of our merch as far as I can remember. And that would be kind of cool. Like just do some
Do some fun
sleeves
kind
or
of thing.
something.
Get in on the limited edition sleeve of the month club.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean you just like have a
Wait, can we have them available on socks too? Like,
Sure.
just take the sleeve
Socks are great.
pattern.
We don't have socks either.
Let's take the sleeve pattern and put it on socks.
Socks
Because
are
those
another-
Elder Dragon social socks would be incredible.
Yeah, socks are another thing that you can't really ever have enough of.
It's true.
I feel like by the time that I finally feel like I've got enough socks, I need more socks.
That's great because then you can take the sock and like fill it with dice and
Right, and then we sell Loading Ready dice that could go in there, and now we're just creating this whole like beatdown system.
we have a way of distributing blunt force trauma weapons. It's foolproof.
But then those dice disintegrate after, so that
Leave
they,
no
they can't
evidence.
take they
You're
can't
right.
get you
No,
the
no,
murder.
it's just
weapon.
my rosin bag.
yeah.
Murder weapons
So
available
no, you
now.
can never
Stored
be
on
traced for when you
LoadingReadyRun.com.
murder someone with the Loading Ready dice.
Wild. I was thinking the opposite. Like, let's have the socks come out long enough that someone could collect them all and get 100 different socks, and then they could like sleeve up their commander deck in the socks.
There you go.
That's those of you who are listening
They
can't
need to
see
have-
me gesturing like several meters up.
Yeah, you need a whole drawer. You need a sock drawer that you keep your deck in, and then you like
You
pull
know
one out
how
of
when
random.
you use fresh sleeves and you press on it too hard and it explodes at the
Oh,
side?
yeah.
Just imagine that only it was sock.
Just flying out at people.
It's like, oh no.
We're just we're finding out another way to get that like that Yu-Gi-Oh meme with like the two dudes carrying like the one really really long Yu-Gi-Oh box.
Oh right.
That was like an
God.
official legal thing that they made the rule that happened that you can't do that.
But instead of that, it's just like it's one of those dollies inside of the prison that you escape out of,
Or
right?
it's
Like
just
the
a laundry
dolly.
basket.
Yeah, the big
This is my
laundry
deck
basket
box.
Yeah, giant laundry basket that's bigger than this table.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, yes.
So there you go, Beej. If you're listening, we've got the brain trust here.
That's right.
and we're just giving free money at this point. Let us know maybe down in the comments which of those you would buy.
Tag Beach.
Yeah. Would you subscribe to the sleeve service? Do you want some sort of horse that you excavate? I'm saying.
LRR mining kit could be sweet.
I think there was a con that we did where a very lovely fan gave us like each like these very personalized little like thank you boxes.
Right.
And in them, one of the things was like it just said "Lure Rocks," and it was one of those little rocks.
I still have mine, and I was told, I think Meg told me that if I can, I should cut it open with a lapidary saw, which I actually have access to.
Oh,
So I just need to do that at some point.
cool. That's
Okay.
really cool.
So
All right, I think we answered that question pretty good.
Hey, if you're still watching at this point, comment below explaining to me what a lapidary saw is. Thanks.
All right, another one from the Dave with the double Q, saying, "What celebrity or notable public persona would you love to find out is a fan of LRR?"
John Cena.
Patrick Stewart.
He tuned in during that desert bus that was like so John Cena like encompassing, and has just been like a lurker ever since.
Lurker with 2 R's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like every time we do a Make-A-Wish fulfillment, I'm just like, wow, they turned down John Cena for us. It's very fulfilling.
That's the thing. Yeah, we've done a couple of Make-A-Wish dealios, and it is a very interesting thing to just be like, there's so many wishes you can make.
Yeah,
And you want to come hang out with us. Like, that's so cool.
You could have tried to hang out with Selena Gomez for an hour, but instead,
Why specifically Selena Gomez?
I don't know, just another celebrity that popped into my mind where I would just be so touched to find out if they were a fan of LRR.
I mean, you said that, and I just, for some reason, I just imagine her checking her phone for like 2 hours. I actually
While
don't
the
know
Make-A-Wish
anything.
Yeah.
person is there.
She stops mid-concert to be like, "Oh, new crap shot." Hey, everybody, let's watch this. And just like holds up the phone to the microphone.
boy.
Like 10,000 people watching on her tiny phone screen that's like 50 feet away from the closest one.
I'm a big, so like, I mean, so I've talked about him a bunch, and I'll just kind of throw in that like I'm a big fan of Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Yeah.
He does like a bunch of like the like college dropout stuff, Dimension 20 and whatnot. But like in terms of like super celebrity, I would love it if we found out that Henry Cavill was a Lur fan, because he's just like into so many of the things that I am into. He's a big Warhammer guy. And
We should probably throw Vin Diesel on that.
I was just
Sure,
thinking we should
yeah,
say
yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Oh, so
too,
we just need the league of beefy guys.
beefy like hardcore nerds
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah, that's
Like,
true,
Yeah,
yeah.
Vin Diesel's very
Here's
into
what we
D&D,
do is
right?
like we get like Henry Cavill and Vin Diesel and like one other guy, and we just make Jacob Burgess DM.
They're like,
We only tell him the day before, so he's just like having a panic.
he has no
Love you.
idea. Yeah, just drop him into it.
It's like stress.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't pay as much attention to big celebrity.
Oh, good, it's not just me.
These days. No, like I don't know, like I know the big, ones, right?
Sure.
Like, but and
They're
then
kind of meme fuel more than anything.
a little bit. I mean, that's kind of the thing is like I really enjoyed the Witcher show, which then and I mean he'd been on things obviously prior, but the Witcher was what made me be like, all right, I'm gonna look way more into Henry Cavill and whatnot. And he's a big Warhammer fan, he's a big World of Warcraft fan, like all these kinds of things.
I wonder if Dwayne Johnson plays D&D.
Maybe he has it in his, so yes, but the problem is he's got plot armor then, because literally written into his rider is that he can't lose a fight.
For real?
For real. Yeah. So you could never
Is that for WWE matches only, or for
no,
like
for
his
like
acting
movies and
jobs?
stuff, from my understanding.
Oh,
yeah, for
wow,
acting
okay.
gigs and stuff, he cannot lose a fight.
That's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, so if he showed up on like, on a D&D show or whatever, my man can't miss.
Right.
Or if he's like, oh, the monster crits you, and he's like, roll again. Are you sure about that?
Okay.
yeah.
It seems I misread the
Oh,
dice.
yes, this isn't a 20, it's a
1.
a 1. The opposite.
It's like this isn't a 20. It's a 410.
So sorry, Mr. Rock. I meant the monster crits themselves.
Mr. Rock. Wow.
I've always wanted to do like some sort of episode of a thing where it's like got like a professional like scoring behind
yeah,
it or
that'd
something
be
like
incredible.
that.
Ooh.
So yeah, if we found out the Danny Elfman,
I was
like,
gonna say Danny Elfman.
was like
Yeah.
a
my
big
God.
fan. Howard Shore is a big fan of
Yeah.
LRR.
Just like without telling anybody, we have a Loading Ready Live that starts out, it's like oompa, 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 oompa.
And they're like, man, this sounds really familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd
Be incredible. Yeah.
like, wait,
Or just a musical episode in general.
Yeah,
You
I'd
get
love
like
to
we
do
get
those
like Flight of the Conchords to come like guest star on some sort of episode or whatever.
Tenacious D were fans of Loading.
Oh
Ready Run.
my gosh, if Jack
that
Black,
would,
yeah.
that would like break me.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I was actually I don't know why, but recently I had a hankering for the game Brutal Legend.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Which I went back and somebody on YouTube posted like every cutscene and like every in between kind
okay,
of thing.
so you
you
just
could
watch like
it
a
as
movie? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
It holds up. Honestly,
incredible. That's awesome.
it's a fun game, and I kind of want to go back and replay Brutal Legend. I'm a
Here's
big
what
Jack
you
Black
do
guy.
is you get Jack Black on Let's Nope, and he is louder than both of you and
yeah.
Adam combined.
That'd be one of the episodes where we just turn off the lights and like actually try and get like spooked by everything.
Nice. Yeah. Gonna need a new Studio A afterwards.
Probably, yeah.
Incredible.
All the sound dampening we've done will not hold up to Jack Black's voice.
It's just like, why is this microphone concave now?
Just through the pure sound. All right, there we go. Next question. The Dave is bankrolling this one apparently.
Nice.
I wasn't even looking at the names
Okay.
when we were like looking at some of these questions. Whether it be the style of your art, your music, or your comedy, who are your major inspirations and influences?
I mean, I don't know if it affects my comedy that much, but I still listen to Fela Kuti regularly. He's this Afrobeat musician.
Okay.
So that's just like one of my favorite musicians to listen to. He also like sort of like formed a cult around himself like during his life and like was this kind of like important political player in his city and his country a little bit. But very influential musician. Yeah, I don't know.
Here's a question: is like, was anybody here not influenced by Monty Python? At least a little bit.
I watched a ton
Definitely
of it,
have
so
seen a bunch of
probably
it, yeah.
Like that's almost like a baseline for
Right.
Loading Ready Run. That and like the sort of British comedy that branches off from that. Because I think Graham and Paul mentioned that it's just sort of like formed a bit of a foundation. Because it makes me think about stuff like the Goon Show, Fire Sign Theater, which is not British, but it's like sort of in that ilk. This is like a lot of stuff that I would listen to on LP as a kid. I'd watch stuff when it would come on TV.
Yeah, I mean, LRR in general, it's a lot of its writing style is very wordy and like
Which is kind of like UK influence.
oh,
Like
definitely.
The style of comedy is...
I mean, Kathleen does a ton of writing, I think, for LRR, and it's so very evident, like those kinds of things that influenced, or at least like you can see that foundation of it. For me, a lot of what I do is the improv stuff at LRR and stuff. So I mean, like I grew up watching Who's Line, like very, very early episodes and stuff like that. And even before then, I was watching the Drew Carey show and stuff to kind of get like that through line into it. And Wayne Brady was like a massive inspiration for me, which is why like I like doing like the musical improv
He's a very
and stuff
funny
like
man.
that. He's so
Yeah,
good.
fantastic
He's
talent.
so good. Yeah. And so like a lot of that Who's Line stuff really like, where you're just kind of yes-anding everything, because like even when you're not creating like an improv scene, I think it's so helpful when we do a lot of shows in tandem with people. Like it's very rarely now that one person has like a solo show at LRR.
We usually have guests.
Yeah.
Or we're like it's like
Even
a
just like the
team
basic
of guests.
yeah, or even just like the basic streams that we do, right? Like it's always in like a pair and like a group, so you're riffing off of one another. And yeah, so like whenever somebody's like saying something or whatever, it helps to have that background of being like yes and building on this sort of weird thing. Like it's how like Adam and I ended up cultivating like a recent bit that has been a through line for a lot of Let's Nope is the Subway verse that we've created, where it's a universe where Subway is the only place that you can eat and the only thing that you can eat. And like most of like these like fantastical scenarios that we imagine, we just say take place in the Subway verse.
Nice.
And whatnot. So just any sort of weird thing. And we had, there's like the secret Subway verse police that like they're like, oh, can I like people will go into Subway and try and like skirt around it. They're like, yeah, can I just get like a veggie delight but without the bread?
The Subway
They're trying to make like a salad. And they're like, hey, and
You're not eating bread.
Can you cut my bun, but just cut the sides off in a curve, and then also cut a circular hole in the middle? Yeah. Okay, so it ends up being a circle-shaped sandwich. That's a bagel.
That's a bagel. You're trying to make a hamburger.
That's right. You're trying to make a
You
donut.
guys have favorite stand-up people? Because like I was just thinking, like I very early listened to Billy Connolly and George Carlin, and a little later in life I got into like Richard Pryor, who were like the sort of like some very fundamental stand-up guys. Which are very funny. Like, not all their stuff has
Aged
stood
as
the,
well.
the
Yeah.
test of time, but like their style is like really, really sharp.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I was like huge Robin Williams guy. I mean, obviously his stuff has a tendency in the early stages got a tendency to get a little raunchy and stuff, but like
Whoa.
yeah, I know. But in general, like Robin Williams, it just was an incredible talent.
It's all that
and
Peruvian marching powder.
Yeah. I was a big Mitch Hedberg fan too
okay.
when I was a kid as well. Most of the comedians I enjoyed are dead. Like,
That's okay. Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, Mitch Hedberg was so funny, right? Because his was comedic style was the punchline is just so dead tone and whatnot. Right. You know, like his joke would be like, at night I would lay in my twin-sized bed and wonder where my brother was. Kind of like stuff. Just yeah. Nice. Or I'd lay in my bed at night looking out at the stars, saying, you know, where the hell is my ceiling? just very
That's
like
good.
deadpan, and like he just kind of goes like back and forth on that. Very like constantly stoned all the time on stage and stuff. Like,
Right.
But yeah, my dad showed me a lot of that kind of stuff.
Tonight's forecast, dark.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed Norm Macdonald a lot.
Sure.
And the recent John Mulaney stuff, I've liked quite a bit. And I've spent a bunch of time listening to canceled comedians.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a few of them.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in the day where you don't know they're terrible people.
Yeah,
stuff,
or like
right?
they hadn't come out yet or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I mean more recently too. I would imagine there's been a number of LRR people who have been inspired by like the McElroys and stuff like that too. Like there was a period of time, you know, where they're like constantly watching all, like a lot of their stuff was like appointment viewing and stuff. And Monster Factory was so huge for quite a while, and yeah, people were and my thing for them that I enjoyed the most was their like for at least their podcast Mabim Bam was the No Bummers sort of thing. So it was, you know, it was like an advice podcast, right, where they, you know, go off the rails and stuff.
Man.
There is an advice that's still going, I should say.
Right, sure.
But the questions were never like they always had like a positive tone to it. There wasn't like things to, you know, take the vibe and make it about the person or anything like that. It was always very like punching up comedy, and very rarely were they ever like attack. Do they ever like attack somebody or punch down in terms of the comedic style?
It was always funny when they do that on their live shows, and like someone starts like to ask a question, they're like, "No bummers,
yeah,
man."
No bummers, man.
It sounds like they're going somewhere dark.
Yeah,
they're just like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So I'd say there too. Yeah. Last thing for me, I guess, that inspired a lot of it was the Vine culture.
Oh my god!
With very like short 7 seconds, and I mean, like, you know, you guys, LRR had been doing you know, Vine-esque kind of things with crap shots before Vine was a thing too. But short videos. And like some TikToks have started to get to that point. I used to be like super anti TikTok. Was not into it at all, and I'm still like not like into it in the same level I think that I was when I was into Vine.
I think I'm the same way, because like there was something about the limitations of the 6-second format that just like gave rise to this like incredible comedic innovation. Like you
had to be quick.
It was so clever.
Yeah, it might be like maybe it's my ADHD talking, that I'm like, as soon as I see that your joke video is like 45 minutes, I'm like, I'm out. That's so long. That's way too long.
Sure.
I think Vine had something special, and it was a shame. But
short window of
of
aliveness.
I mean, maybe it's for the best that we're left wanting.
My favorite crap shots are the ones that have that energy. Like
for sure.
It was like a little bit longer than 7 seconds, but like the one where Graham comes up and Beej is standing in front of the dishwasher.
I was thinking of the same one. No, that's not why.
Yeah, exactly. Where you should go watch it if you haven't. I don't know which one it is, but it's just like, they're like, oh yeah, the coffee maker wishes that you would stop calling it a piece of shit, out of a thing. And he's like, oh, is that why my coffee always tastes like piss? And it's like, no, that's not why. And it just ends hard cuts. I'm just like, so good, so good,
very good.
I also really like a similarly length episode. Is just, you're probably wondering how I got here. It all started when I ate 100 chicken nuggets and then got punched in the gut.
Yeah, freaking just wails on my stomach.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the one that we did with that I did with Cam, where we're standing there, and I'm like, I don't really see race. And Cam says, well, that's awfully convenient for you. I'm like, who said that?
That's really good too. Yeah, I just like the short punchy ones. They make me laugh a lot.
I should say Kids in the Hall before we stop.
Sure, totally. I was thinking it as well.
Along with Who's Line and Monty Python. I feel like the
Canadians.
I think Kids in the Hall is a little bit of a like helpful, intro to the language of writing LRR sketches.
Kids in the Hall, and this obviously dates me, was like a little bit older kind of thing for me, but I did still watch it because my dad was a big fan of them and stuff like that. And then like also like The Whitest Kids You Know were in that sort of same sort of realm of like more adult comedy a little bit, but like their sketches and stuff are quite funny. So yeah,
Sweet.
Next, Mr. Doctor 9693 says, in Slay the Spire, what class should I focus on to beat the heart on 8 on that's Ascension 20? Also, any Halloween costume recommendations for a guy with a big beard?
Okay, so I started this one, but I don't have a Slay the Spire answer. Does anyone have a Slay the Spire answer?
No.
Well, it's 2 parts. It's 2 parts, and I was like, I can answer the Halloween question.
Let's guess. Wizard.
So I play this. I at least know the
I've never
classes
played it. Okay.
on them. So I like personally, I like the Silent the most. He's the one, the roguey in the green cloak.
Okay.
He does a lot of fun storm things.
Okay.
And stuff. So baby them, but I also really like, is it the Defect? He's the robot with the orbs. So do the Defect.
All right.
There you go.
There you go. That's the answer for that
Yeah,
one. And if you have a beard, you can shave off every part except your mustache, and suddenly you're Super Mario.
What?
You use that well.
Yeah.
But what if, now you got to go into a realm like, so I have not fully shaved my beard since I was like
4.
Yeah, I've been like this forever. No, the only time I ever shaved my beard was once when I was like 25 for a job interview for a job I didn't get. It was so annoying. They were like, you have to come in shaven for this job interview. And I was like, okay, I really need the job. And then I never got it. And I was like, well, this sucks.
Boo.
Miss my beard and I don't have the job.
Yeah, so I have no idea what my face looks like without a beard, and I refuse to find out.
At this point, I'm afraid to ask.
There might just be nothing underneath there.
The last time I shaved, like I completely shaved, I was not happy with the result.
Sure, yeah.
Like, ugh.
It's a fundamentally different face, for sure.
That's fair.
You make it work, though.
Thank you. Yeah, here I am.
But I think it's because you switch it up enough.
Bravely sporting the skin that hides behind my beard most of the
Big
time.
beard immediately made me think it's just like get a bunch of twigs, stick them in there, and you have an Appalachian mountain man.
This is going to date me as well, but what was the home improvement neighbor's name? Wilson? I feel like
the guy who just peeks over the shelf.
Yeah, just get a small piece of fence. Like, just make
that's
yourself
a
your
great
Halloween
idea.
costume. Just be like a handle attached to like 3 fence boards, and then just hold it right below your nose, and like that way you can have a beard, or you can keep your beard or not. I don't know that you need to hide your face. I just like that idea as a costume.
Yeah, that's a really, really fun
Like
idea.
referencing like side characters in TV is sort of
good.
fun at Halloween, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, so when it comes to like costumes, especially when it like with the beard and stuff, like I think people are usually able to sort of like look past it unless it's like formative by the facial hair, like Mario kind of a thing.
Right.
Because like I did Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob this year with my partner, and it looks fine, even though he does not have a beard or any facial hair or something like that.
Okay.
But if I were to do something that would like incorporate my beard, I always have such a hard time picking Halloween costumes.
You can do a devil costume for sure, too.
Oh, totally.
You can definitely just like put some glitter or just slick it or something, and then like whatever else your devil costume is.
I have
like,
another
include a beard.
stupid idea, which is like you cover the top of your face like down to your nose in like black or something, and then you get an Indiana Jones figure like peering out from the middle.
Whoa.
And you just constantly like,
It's like, look, I'm Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Incredible.
do you cut eye holes in that, or do you just?
No,
do
you just like
do you
wander
rip it?
around, crash into people. It's a great way to meet people.
Yeah.
The idea of like a
Halloween
little
party.
plastic toy dangling from your beard. Yeah, that's a cool
You just do
costume.
like a whole, like less of your like your less of a costume and more like you're making a human diorama.
Exactly.
Oh, that would be
yourself?
good. Just like a bunch of tiny men trying to climb your beard, and then you like put one just like entering your nose.
And you're just like,
You get a contact lens that has like the painting of a tiny man inside your eye.
How about you're just like changing the game up? You want to mess with your friends? You just show up to Halloween in a Santa Claus outfit.
There you go.
It's like, this is a costume.
Yeah.
Face it.
Yeah.
You give them all presents, but they're full of like black and orange candy.
Just the worst candy. Just only those toffees or whatever. It's like, I heard this is what you kids eat at this time of year, right? I know I'm usually dropping chocolate bells from Purdy's, but
like that candy, the it's like the
hard
nougat or something.
candy,
It's
hard
like
toffee stuff. Yeah,
it's like the stuff. You ever seen that movie?
the stuff.
Yeah, it's a movie about a Cool Whip that kills people.
Okay.
Because it comes out of the ground and it's like alive.
Okay.
There's got to be like some
It's
sort
like
of
an
like
80s
weird
B-horror
alien
movie,
creature
or-
that's like extruding this continuous ribbon of this filth that they just like sell at Halloween.
Gross.
Anyway,
I've been playing. So I'm just trying to quickly throw in mine because
Yeah.
it's all I can think of. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. So Zangief.
Yes.
You could make you if you're feeling body
Get a
confident. You want to
muscle
walk.
suit. Yeah.
It's definitely
And a
one that's
Speedo.
harder to do in Canada. If you live in
Yeah.
Canada, because you're just walking around in a Speedo.
I'm so cold.
Yeah. If you live in like Alberta, you're doing that in the snow, which is fun.
Unless you wear a muscle suit, then you're nice and tough.
That's true. You could
Yeah.
always muscle suit
You're
it
in a
up.
muscle suit.
Because I don't think anybody has that kind of coarse body hair.
Yeah.
It's like a Brillo pad.
I mean, we've got some hairy lads in Loading Ready Run.
I'm not one of them.
You could dress up like Bengineering.
Yeah, you could be me.
He's often in a red plaid shirt.
True.
Yeah.
There you go. Or dress up as any one of us.
Okay. All right. We got more questions.
More
about
Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
All right. Bourgeois Caesar.
Bourgeois
Bourgeois Caesar.
Bourgeois Cesar.
Bourgeois Caesar asks, if your Halloween costume had to be something based on something from a Lur sketch, who or what would you be?
I think a full.
And you can't be a
size-
character that you've played.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unless you want to.
Well, I was gonna
guess.
say
go ahead.
Bartleby.
Sure.
I was gonna say Bartleby.
Wait. No. We like all of us get in a huge Bartleby that like
Yeah.
has multiple operators.
Well, I was gonna say like the scary thing about Bartleby is making him life size. Like if you make a 6-foot Bartleby costume, like that's terrifying.
I have to ask, how do you go about constructing the costume? Because I know a way,
Oh, okay.
but I would be curious to see how you would be building it.
well, I would
Because for
I would
all intents
open
and
up my
purposes,
Discord app.
Bartleby is a giant dick.
Sure.
You know, like I feel like you could grab any of those like very specific giant penis costumes
I
from
mean,
like
I
a
was
Halloween
gonna just
store.
like get tons and tons of pink flannel and like sew a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put a mouth in
I
it.
was gonna get my Discord app out and beg AIM to make a costume for me.
You could do it like one of
wanted
those
to
like
do it.
Chinese lion dance outfits where it's like it's got the mouth.
And,
And then you can get other people behind it, and it looks
Like
like just,
16 person
wibbling
Bartleby
away.
costume.
It's a dragon, but it's just a pink felt like this.
Wow, that would really scare everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we could clear the town out. Just like one
Holy
like parade of
smokes.
one costume and just like shutter all the doors
Yeah,
because
I
it's
think
both
the lion
scary
dance
and
is like
filthy.
2 people, and then the dragon is like a whole bunch of people.
Okay,
And
right.
you can have it like really long and floating along.
Yeah.
Like, "Woo, I'm a sky dancer, but on the ground, and I'm going to eat you.
Nice. Do you have one that you would do on based on sketch?
So, I mean, like, the first one that came to my mind was, like, in the Commodore Hustle episode where Beach is all pissed off about the parking lot. He, like, lawnmower mans himself, where he's, like, connected to, like, a whole bunch of things. So, like, but because then you could be like, someone's like, oh, you're lawnmower man. And you're like, yeah, sure. Right? Like, you don't want them to know how deep of a nerd hole you actually are a part of.
That sounds like it'd be a tough costume to like walk around the
Oh,
party and have fun.
absolutely. Yeah,
But as
yeah.
an installation, it would be
Maybe
really cool.
maybe you're doing it on like a hospital bed and somebody wheels you around kind of a thing. You've got
Or you
everything
just dress up
connected.
for a stream. Maybe,
Yeah.
and you can still play a video game.
Well, because with any of these costumes, like, okay, we're in this magical world where the 3 of us adult men are going trick or treating.
Halloween party.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Halloween party.
And you have to tell somebody maybe who's like not familiar with loading
Oh, yeah,
run
it's your-
content
it's your-
that
it's your
you're
partner's
dressed up
work.
as something from your own like sketch series and stuff, like
Yeah.
without being a conceited douche.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like you could go as like Mr. Tiddlywinks and have to like painstakingly explain that you're going as a version of character. So it's like I'm going as like the cheap knockoff parody of Jason Voorhees that appeared in a video that we did, and I'm doing a kind of bad costume based on that.
The question is on that. If you do Mr. Tiddlywinks, do you have to like do it in like stilts just to like
Probably.
encapsulate how tall Bill was?
Incredible.
You also have to use a real machete.
It's like we could all go as the sorry, are they the Warriors of Death, Paul?
Warriors of
Warriors Darkness.
Warriors of Darkness. And then
Yeah.
it's like you get to the party, it's like, oh, you're a scary little guy, aren't you? And you're just like, yes.
I'm trying to think of like something that's like very obscure, like not necessarily like from an obscure bit, but like something that's like, how the hell would you make a costume
Right.
out of that like we've like done
Toast.
on the show? Just the toast, yeah. I mean, there's like giant bread costumes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. that
What
works.
if you're the toast and then? Okay, I've got it.
All right.
You have like it is like a big piece of toast, but then the rest of you is dressed up as Ian with the toast in your mouth, running everywhere.
How
So you're not Ian, but you're dressed up as Toast Ian, running out down the hallway.
And it's just one person's costume? Yeah, okay. It's not like a team up? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you could, I mean, we could be going back into the dragon kind of situation where one person's in the toast and the other person's in the other person's mouth or
Okay,
whatever.
I've got like a really deep cut.
Okay,
You get
okay.
like a beige jumpsuit or tracksuit, and you get a hollowed out TV on your head, and you go as the Commodore 64 from the Loading Ready rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a good one.
Because it has lyrics.
Or if we're doing the diorama thing, we just put all the different characters from the Loading Ready Rumble in your beard. There you go. That's another
good.
beard one.
It's like
Paul is just like sitting on your nose.
it's like a Hell in a Cell match, but like like Money in the Bank, but it's on the bridge of your nose.
All right. We've got some ideas for you there.
Or
You
the
know.
Laughatron would be a fun one
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Laughatron's a fun little character. Yeah, I think those are
You
all
said
pretty solid.
Laughatron, and for some reason I thought Ballsmatron,
Oh yeah.
which is not a related robot, but it
No.
was just like it was like a an RC car with like some sort of lever that would strike people in the testicles.
What about if you dressed like your costume broke apart and you dressed up as various things that you guys dropped on the daily drop?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Just like your costume explodes or whatever.
Actually, a costume.
You're a pinata of Daily Drop stuff.
A costume that like was a freeze frame of like your torso exploding.
That would actually be pretty sick.
That sounds like the sort of like ILM
Oh yeah.
costume.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm into that body.
Heidi Klum would do it, right?
Yeah. There you go. Got options. Pinball Witch 5256 asks, with it being the big anniversary, it's our 20th anniversary, amazing. What are some of your favorite memories of your time with LRR? You've all been such wonderful additions to the group over the years and always help me when I'm having a hard time.
Man, Road Quest was fun.
Road Quest was great. I mean, every single time, literally the first thing that snaps into my head was the when was the last time we saw a car bit. where Alex lost his mind for a moment.
God.
And if you're not familiar, you might. Are you
I
familiar?
haven't seen that since. I haven't
Okay.
seen
All right.
this,
Great.
yeah.
So we are on. It's day 8. I want to say like we're almost there, but not quite. We're in the Yukon at this point.
Right.
And it's quite cold and it's not desolate isn't the right word, but the trees are like spooky looking and it's like kind of
sparse.
Thinner, yeah. The
sparse,
boreal
yeah.
forest is like not the same thick trees. Yeah.
And so we're just driving, and there's like the three of us in this line, and we're just like not passing anybody or something like that. And to kind of get a bit going in a great way, Alex asks over the radio, "Hey guys, when's the last time we saw a car?" To like really drive in, like this place is kind of spooky.
Right.
And me being a complete ass goes into the radio, and I'm like, oh, like 5 minutes ago, dude. I just passed by.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah, and I was like, great, super, good bit. And then I think it was Graham or Serge or somebody over the radio was like, no, that was actually like a really good thing. You should do that. And so Alex is like, okay, hey guys, or hey Adam, when's the last time we saw a car? And you can see in Adam's face is like, I have to do it. And he's like 5 minutes ago, my guy. And so Alex just starts losing it. And then bless Ian's heart, Ian is just like, hey, you know what? I'll do it with you, Alex. Hey, Alex, when's the last time we saw a car?
About 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
And we're all just done. And they did it over the radio too, which was so great. And,
Yeah, we busted up.
it was definitely that moment where, because there was like small amounts of tension, I think, in where like we had all been together. It was a hard shoot.
Well,
Yeah,
a
this was
stretch.
And it was at that moment that I was just like, okay, I'm so glad I'm doing this with like friends and stuff, because we were like getting on each other's nerves, but then like instantly like we were all just like feeling good about it again. And I think that's a pretty good encapsulation of LRR as a whole. Like we see each other a lot. So much so that like we don't actually like hang out all that much outside, because we're like constantly like seeing each other.
Yeah,
throughout the week
it's a little weird like trying to organize social things.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I did just see you, so
like 2 days ago. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like 5 minutes ago.
That was a like several years long callback. That's like that callback is like half a decade or something.
yeah.
I mean, it is nice that we have like a minimal, if any, kind of like
Beef.
drama.
Yeah.
That's not really. It's just like you ate my sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
not bad.
So yeah, that would definitely be the go-to one for me.
I liked MagicCon Barcelona a lot. Another
Sure.
trip, another bonding experience.
Yeah, Barcelona was fun.
Yeah, good time.
We were all, you and I were sweating in solidarity together.
Well, we weren't the only ones, but yeah.
Yeah.
for
Oh
sure.
my God.
I went through a lot of the same sweats.
Barcelona in like 36-degree weather. That was tough, dude.
Yeah.
We got on.
I went through all of my clothes.
Yeah, there was like air conditioning nicely in like a lot of places, which was very nice. But there was one time where we got on a subway, and it was the one train that was not air conditioned, and there were so many people, and I was like, I might die here.
Yeah.
This might be it for me.
Serge had a scary one. This is one of the trips he did by himself for Go for Coffee, where he was then like stuck on the train for 25 minutes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
AC. So
Yeah.
we're lucky not to be on that same ride with him. But yeah,
Everybody's had, like difficult experiences over there. Cause like the one time I went to Europe in like grade 12, it was the first time I ever had like major sleep deprivation. And I remember distinctly like waiting on a London tube platform, and I glanced down at the tiled pattern of the floor, and it was swimming. I was like,
good.
oh, that's bad.
glad I'm not around any dangerous vehicles right now.
Yeah.
Yep, it's no good.
Yeah, I mean, they mostly ran on time, and it was mostly great. And the tube stations weren't that hard to figure out, but it was, there was signs in other languages and stuff, and like it was our first time there. For the
Yeah,
first week,
it was
so.
great.
Mistake
I
there,
appreciate what I appreciated about Barcelona was they would always do like the hello hola kind of a thing, and within the first day I realized I have to say hello.
Right. Because if you say hola, then
Because if they say hola, then they start talking in and it wasn't
Or in
Spanish.
Catalan, yeah.
Catalan, yeah. And I'm like, no, wait. Right. But there was the other thing where you said hola, and then they were like, I'm gonna speak English. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna put up that discrepancy.
Right.
You just
anymore.
like,
you
hola.
instantly.
Yeah. Hola.
hola.
And they're
like,
just like,
hello,
all
sir.
right,
How can I
white
help
man.
you?
Like,
Yeah. Would you like a coffee? It's like, yes, I would. Yeah.
Habla español.
I don't know, my other thing I would say probably is just like making and writing Friday nights.
Yeah.
Like that was a big, that was kind of like how I got pulled in more to doing more lure projects. And
some
I just
good
really
writing
liked that
meetings.
show. Yeah, the writing me
it-
specifically when I found out that was happening. I
Those
was like,
very
this is-
seldom see the light of day.
right.
Because it's an internal process, but like some of the writing meetings we get going are just like a gas.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting to get to like watch the ideas like start to take form and get fleshed out, and like the value that you see of like your own presence in the group, and like and the thing that happens when everybody's working together on the same idea, right? Like the 4 or 5 different people are contributing to the same joke or the same plot. And
Yeah, group
like,
writing is actually a lot of fun around here, because like you can sort of like pitch an idea and have it developed and like branch it off or like reshape it or something.
yeah, sometimes a new idea comes out of the first idea. Sometimes, most of the time, you just have a bunch of extra ideas and they all get scrapped. You just go with like your favorite version of the first thing.
Yeah.
But like just going that
Or you
process
get
is
like
really
a
fun.
couple of extra things that you like shelve for later. And
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
back to.
I have a really good memory too of going to Vegas with Graham.
Okay.
Was that in 2017?
No, so this was
No,
this was
I
actually
guess-
not magic related.
Oh, okay.
We got invited to go to the release launch party of a game called Sleep Tight, which was like, it was basically like this game where it was like a tower defense wave based thing where you're like a kid in your bedroom and like nighttime horrors come and attack you or whatever. Okay. But anyways, they were like, hey, we're big fans. We'd love to have you guys come out and like play the game. And I think it was like a Mixer sponsored event too, to date it. Back when Mixer was a thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, so it's going to be like a sleepover. So bring like pajamas and stuff like that.
Fun, okay.
And we were like, oh, sure. And so us having like access to like a full costume thing and all that jazz, like me and Graham were like, oh, full flannel pajamas,
onesie
sleep
situation.
cap,
Yeah, nice.
whole thing. So we roll in, and thankfully it's at Vegas where you walking around in your pajamas is pretty like whatever, nobody notices, that kind of a thing.
Right.
And we get in there, we are like the only people dressed up.
Incredible.
Every other streamer that they brought in was like maybe wearing like a sleep shirt and like sweats or something like that, which is fine. I mean, that's pajama-y kind of thing. But we were just like, but like some people were just like in jeans and all that kind of jazz. And they came up to us and they're like, oh my God, you guys dressed up for it.
You guys read the
and
email.
we were like, yeah, it was like in the rider. Like it was part of the contract.
We read the specs.
We thought we were supposed to. And they were like, oh, well, would you guys want to be on like the main stage? And we were just like, sure. And we got to be on. So we were on the front page of Mixer for like several hours, which was very, very funny. But yeah, that was a very funny bonding moment where Graham and I were just like, I don't know. we just did what you asked, and we're paying. Like they flew us out and paid us. And we were just like, the least we can do is wear
Actually
pajamas.
wear the pajamas. Yeah. Awesome.
So that was a very good memory. Do you have any big ones, Alex?
I'm just trying to think of like specific ones. It's like I think there was a lot of like early crap shots that were fun to do. Just like we got to do really dumb ideas, and like a couple of shoots that like for some reason I was thinking the other day about. I don't remember which the video was, but we shot it at the old Oak Bay High, and it stuck in my memory because it's like maybe the most enthusiastic I've ever seen Kathleen about any role ever, and it was as a corpse.
She just got to lay there.
She was just full of beans.
Nice.
She, like this white sheet just going like body, 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 body on the ground, body, body. It's like it was just really charming.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Very silly.
Let us know in the comments if you know what that video is called.
Yeah. Somebody will for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I want to watch it.
Next. Daniel Solis asks, if you wore the same costume to every convention like Beej does,
Oh man.
what would be your ensemble? So for people who don't know, Beej has a con outfit that he has been wearing since the dawn of time.
It's like a big.
It's a big Canada top hat, like made out of felt.
Canada Day top hat.
And then I do not know the official name of it.
It's
Yukata?
Like
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of traditional Japanese robe thing.
Yeah, so it's like blue, and then
the pants are
The pants
more
are
than
white
that?
and red.
yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe that's the yukata. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It could be a hakama.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So it's like that basically, and he's worn it everywhere. People constantly be like, "So I guess you're from Canada," kind of a thing. Whenever we did it, yeah, and he's like, "Yeah."
I don't remember who was at the convention in I think it was Boston where Threege showed up.
Yeah, where three people
was
dressed up as him.
Weird.
So good.
I
Yeah.
saw the pictures of that.
But yeah, like I think I would kind of want to theme it similarly to his, like have the sort of like Japanese weeb inspired, but like kind of different sensibility. For some reason, I'm thinking like black and purple, just because I dig that color scheme. Maybe I could like come up with some cool cyberware or something.
Ooh, would you have like a fancy hat?
Probably,
Yeah.
or maybe just like one of those like fish fear me hats.
Yeah, that'd be good with like the brim that's just like slightly too long.
Just like way too.
Yeah,
long.
yeah. I think if I did, it would be what I typically wear. So I wear my plaid when I go to conventions, no matter what, even when it's way too friggin' hot. Unless it's like Barcelona was one of the ones where I was like, nah.
I think you wore
I
it one
still
of the
did,
days,
yeah.
didn't you? Yeah, you still wore it like the first day or something.
And it's great.
Or
and
to the signing.
Yeah,
like,
and I feel vindicated every time because people, well, when they're like looking for me, not even like fans, but like friends,
Yeah, like
or
me.
like or you, they're like you're like, oh yeah, I spotted you
There he
like,
is.
from across the room, kind of a thing. So if I had a costume to go with that, what I would actually do is the same thing but just bigger. Like I would make like a giant paper mache head of myself.
Oh, that's
just
really
me,
good.
But and then like the same clothing, all that kind of just like a big shirt, just like all puffed
Big
up,
oversized
and stuff.
shoes.
Oh yeah, everything. Like it would just be very comical.
Just like you got a full body cooling suit.
It's me as
on
a
the
Funko
inside.
Pop.
Yeah, exactly.
I Funko Pop myself.
The idea of going as a mascot of yourself is very strong.
So I have worn the same costume to several conventions, although not the ones I've been to with Lure in the past few years. But it was the Magic Judge uniform. So
Sure.
I have that answer. I have kind of looked the same as a bunch
Yeah.
of other people who are in a costume.
Yeah.
But you know what? The other thing back in my early college days, I had this pair of mod robes that were like blaze orange and like the like raver like fleece pants, and those were probably never really in fashion. But I also just like wore them out and couldn't find them anymore. Like they even stopped making them. And I honestly miss it. I just liked having fleece pants. That was just comfy and it was good like lounge wear, so I would bring that back if I could.
So what I'm hearing is if we do end up doing Chicago,
Right.
that we're all wearing these. I gotta get to work. I don't know if I'm gonna play Magic in mine, but
Yeah. Mine is like ideal for lying around.
Yeah, yours is
all
great.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wear a shirt too, but that
Yeah,
part
back-
doesn't matter. You can just see me because I'm the construction orange pants.
yeah. So there you go. So the next convention, come find us wearing that. Andrew Haunt asks, if your co-hosts were sandwich fillings, what would they be? I believe this is our final question.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Alex?
Yes, I think Nelly would be coleslaw.
I'll
if
take
that's
it.
not super insulting.
No, I'm
No, coleslaw is great.
Appreciate that you chose a
Well-made
vegetable.
coleslaw.
Oh yeah.
Because coleslaw can be
Vinaigrette coleslaw. Sure. There you go.
Well, the thing about coleslaw is
apple
just that
cider vinaigrette.
it's got a short shelf life, right? You
Yes.
want to pretty much make the coleslaw and then eat it.
So what we're saying is you're past your prime now.
Oh yeah, I felt it.
do.
These gray hairs aren't your TV not working, buddy.
And Ben, I'm thinking sloppy joes.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Sloppy Joe fan. Yeah.
You know, just like unpretentious. You know, like classic, delicious. So.
I like that.
Okay, so I had in mind for Ben that you're the spicy mayo because you're loud. But
You notice me.
Also white.
that's funny. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. No, I was gonna say like agreeable and popular.
Sure.
Because like spicy mayo is like more and more like everybody's got it.
Everyone's putting it on their sandwich.
Everyone wants it. Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. But it's like it's powerful.
This is a feel-good question. I like this.
No problem.
pretty
And then,
good.
okay, so Alex, I just think of those teriyaki skewers that you made at like some. It was actually like a work friend's party. Was it Graham's birthday
Yeah,
or
it would
something?
have been Graham's
birthday, and you like brought like a barbecue to Graham's house in your backpack. This was incredible. Like just like this little like brick.
Yeah,
thing
no,
that you were cooking on.
I
Yeah.
made that. Like I welded it together out of like, frankly, way too heavy sheet steel, and then like lined it with fire brick.
Yeah, so that was super cool. So yeah, anything that like was kind of bespoke and like tasty, I could see you as a sandwich. Like it could be like a homemade pepperoni or something with like the spices are like from a particular crop that you'll never get
I
again.
feel like too much meat crammed into a case. Sometimes.
All right, you went to the darkest place you possibly could with that joke. We're taking compliments is tough, but yeah, you're a deliciously prepared meat product. That's what I got for you.
Hey, nice. So for me, I was thinking. So I had a turkey-based breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
Which made me remember that like for some people, Thanksgiving's coming up. That's
right.
For some
That's
people,
right.
It's already happened.
Or it's now, yeah.
Yeah, or it's now times.
Hot turkey sandwiches.
Yeah, and so I was just like thinking in regards to like a Thanksgiving-y sort of sandwich for you two, and I think Nelson, I put you as the stuffing.
Okay,
where
nice.
it's like it's for the most part like stuffing is like this is the reliable thing, like
Right.
always like it's very hard to mess up stuffing, and you're always happy when it. Just like I'm always happy to have you on a show and stuff. Like it's
You might be a little nuts.
yeah.
I'm gonna be too salty because I'm crying so much over here.
And then Alex, man, I think you I would put as like, I know we're saying fillings and stuff like that, but I kind of I was thinking of the bread, honestly, that like because it keeps like everything sort of together, and on that like I feel like when it comes to a sandwich, the fillings can be good, but I think the bread is usually what like makes it like
It's often the most important part, right?
yeah. Well, so it's like when I'm thinking of banh mi, like like a Vietnamese sandwich and whatnot, usually the fillings are pretty standard wherever they go, but it's the baguette that sort of makes the whole sort of thing.
That's the interesting thing about like Vietnamese cuisine is like when they kicked the French out, they kept the pate, the coffee, and the bread.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever had a banh mi, but I imagine that they would be quite
They're
good.
so good,
Oh,
and
yeah, it's a yummy
but
sandwich,
it
too.
lives and dies, I think, on the bread
Sure.
itself, kind
I'm
of
told
thing.
that that's like the really crucial part of pizza is
Yeah.
like the crust.
Yeah,
That's
Like,
fair. I mean, you can have a good crust and still, I think, have a bad pizza if
can
you ruin
just-
the other
you
things.
could, like
But
pour axle grease on it. And it's fine.
sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I want to give some credit to good cheeses and good sauces too. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say the crust is like number one.
Foundation.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say, and like you're a foundational LRR member,
Oh,
kind of a thing, right? So,
What kind of bread? Like, do you have a particular?
ooh, okay. So if I mean, I love the baguette. I was just saying that, but like, if we're talking Thanksgiving sandwich, typically you're going for like, people will go anywhere from like a white bread to like, you know what? I would say that you are like a hearty, rye kind of bread that you would put like the
not
darker sort of bread, I would say.
I like that oat nut bread or like a potato
yeah.
bread, like some kind of extra,
Maybe
like a
something
white
like-
but extra starchy.
Maybe something like a little outside the box, because you're a little outside the box, I think, in some ways. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe instead of just bread, you're just 2 pancakes on the Thanksgiving sandwich that we're making. Someone expects to get bread, and instead you just are,
You're just like, this is weird, but it works.
yeah, or yeah, we're expecting to make a sandwich, but you're like, well, I turned it into a calzone.
Okay.
I mean, if you had a Thanksgiving McGriddle, that would be like
Oh my
pretty
God.
incredible,
I'd
right?
be into a Thanksgiving
like this
McGriddle.
pancake like leftover sandwich actually sounds delicious.
Maybe
now that I
this
think
is the
about it.
Canadian talking in us, but I will put syrup on most things and be pretty happy with it.
And like, have you ever tried putting syrup and gravy on the same sandwich? Because that probably needs to be experimented on.
You know, this feels like a live bit. Like, will it
maybe.
syrup?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
into it. I'm into
yeah.
it. Can we put maple syrup on it or pancake syrup? Like,
Yeah.
And maybe there's 2 categories, and we could try all your favorite things and ruin them.
I'm definitely one of those people that goes to like a continental breakfast, and like you'll get the eggs and the sausage and the bacon and even like some of the pastries, and I
Sure.
just
Fruit.
everything.
Yeah. You got some
Everything.
melon, and then
I
you just
might-
take the
I
syrup.
might avoid the fruit. I don't often put it on the
Like,
fruit.
and unify.
Yeah.
right.
I'm a big syrup guy.
There you go.
Same.
There we go.
Yeah, if we're at a continental breakfast and I grabbed eggs and I grabbed hash browns and yeah, maybe some cheese even. I don't know. Just syrup on everything. It's fine.
What a syrupy, sweet note to end on.
That is. There you go. Well, I hope that you feel like we've answered your cues adequately.
We ate all those cues.
Yeah, we gave some good answers. We dived into LRR's history a little bit, our history, as well as gave you various costume ideas and whatnot. Several costume ideas, whether for us or for you.
Merch ideas for your
Merch
store,
ideas.
maybe?
Hopefully, Beej watches all of these episodes, and we'll get the weird horse or the sleeve subscription program or the go to mountain co-op.
It has to have a stiff collar. I want a stiff collar.
stiff collar.
That's the only part that's different.
Nelson just really wants to pop the collar with Larry merch.
Yes.
But thank you so much for watching. A reminder that we could not do this without you over at our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. And if you want to, for the next one, ask the next batch of folks questions and whatnot, be sure to join our YouTube memberships, which you can do down below. And all the information for that as well is in the description. But from us here at the office, I've been Ben. This has been Alex, Nelson. Paul, of course, has been on tech, and Heather is the lovely human who puts all this stuff up. And we will catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody.